Hi, I'm Leif Johnson from Macworld, and today we're going to check out the best iPhone games from 2018. It was an unusually good year for games on iOS, and we had a lot of games to choose from, but I believe these 10 titles are the most deserving of your time. First up, we have Alto's Odyssey. This is a game about maintaining momentum, so I'm not surprised it basically follows the same design as 2015's well-loved Alto's Adventure. Back then though, you were a snowboarder gliding down mountain peaks. In Odyssey, you're sliding down slopes of sand. But it's lovely, both in sound and sight. It's also deceptively simple, involving no more gameplay than tapping the screen to leap over rocks or pull tricks to gain momentum. When you're in the groove, losing yourself in Odyssey's music or stylized scenery feels a bit like slipping into meditation. Next up is Donut County. Now, I've always worried that donuts will be my ruin, but I never imagined anything like the chaos in Donut County. In this brief but delightful puzzler, you deliver donuts that are actually movable holes that swell in size every time you use them to swallow something. Sometimes you're swallowing chairs, sometimes you're swallowing entire barns and hapless citizens. Donut County is never difficult, but it never fails to entertain thanks to its cutscenes and creative physics puzzles. And Apple itself certainly thinks Donut County is a treat. It called it the best iPhone game of the year. No list of the best iPhone games would be complete without Fortnite. Epic Games caught lightning in a bottle last year with its wildly popular Battle Royale shooter, and last March it jolted us when it managed to squeeze this digital blockbuster into the tiny confines of an iPhone. Such a quality port would be impressive enough with a mobile-only game, but Epic manages to deliver excellent shooting, movement, and building elements, all with the same Fortnite account you used to play on consoles or desktops. You can even play with players on those systems, and frankly, that's nothing short of epic. Next up, The Room, Old Sins. I would have guessed The Room games would be running out of steam at this point, but The Room, Old Sins proves its 3D puzzles have lost little of the magic that first wowed us in 2012. In fact, Old Sins might be the best game of the series. In this case, you're digging through a creepy dollhouse to uncover its secrets, and you can tinker with individual rooms with the help of an eyepiece. No other game really does as good of a job at making 3D objects feel weighty and real, and there's a helpful hint system on hand if you ever get stuck. Don't give up too easily though, as the aha moments here rank among the best on the iPhone. We also have Stardew Valley. It's a pleasant bit of escapism that's always sitting in your pocket, ready to whisk you off to another life where you manage an inherited farm outside a charming village. Its aesthetic looks old, but the concept is timeless. You'll clear land and harvest crops, but you'll also strike up relationships with various folks in town and possibly even get married. It almost lets you do anything, and now that it's on the iPhone, you can do that anything, anywhere. Next on the list is Shadowgun Legends. It's a first-person shooter about a group of mercenaries who hunt down aliens, which makes it sound a little like Gears of War and a lot like Destiny. That's an ambitious pairing for a mobile game, to put it lightly, but Shadowgun Legends does the concept justice. You'll probably forget the story within a day, but the graphics, gunplay, and a wealth of options all go a long way towards making up for that shortcoming. Whether you want PvP, co-op battles, or tense short missions you can drop into during a trip on the subway, Shadowgun Legends delivers. Last year was full of games that took full advantage of the faster processing power of today's iPhones, but few harness it with such stunning effect as Asphalt 9 Legends. The latest entry in the long-running series is a stunning one, complete with highly detailed tracks for locations ranging from Macworld's own San Francisco to Shanghai and Rome. It's an entertaining arcade racer filled with nitro boosts and destructible environments, and a new semi-automated touch drive mode makes it easier to play on the go. Reign's Game of Thrones reminds us that the best games based on a major franchise don't need to have massive budgets that rival that of an HBO series. In fact, this featherweight story-driven adventure resembles nothing so much as Tinder, as it's all about swiping left or right to make decisions that affect your power as you sit on the Iron Throne. Nor is this simply an HBO rebranding of 2015's Reigns. In this case, you'll see everyone from Tyrion Lannister to humble Gendry take up the crown, and you'll guide them through personalized scenarios that reveal a deep knowledge of George R.R. Martin's world. You'll fail frequently, to be sure, but in this universe, that's part of the appeal. Our next game is Oddmar. So, no exaggeration, Oddmar is the best 2D platformer on the iPhone. It's got the platforming creativity and playfulness of a game like Rayman, which is all the more remarkable since Oddmar was designed specifically for phones and not, say, the Nintendo Switch. So you play as Oddmar, a cut-rate Viking with no fighting experience, who nevertheless must prove he's worthy of Valhalla. This quest leads him through 25 gorgeous levels, each filled with coin collections for upgrades and puzzles that see Oddmar throwing down mushrooms to use as trampolines. Blessed with astonishingly good touch controls, it's a saga worth revisiting more than once. And finally, we have Pocket City. It's tough to find a good city building game these days, regardless of which system you're playing on. But fortunately, we've got one of the best modern titles right here on iOS. It's so good that it reminds me of the glory days of SimCity. Microtransactions are non-existent, and it offers sufficient complexity while sporting an interface that's ideal for small screens. Whether you simply want to build commercial districts or tackle crime and calamities like earthquakes, you'll find that being a mayor in Pocket City is major fun. And that's it for 2018, although I'd like to extend a special shout out to worthy runner-up Civilization 6 and PUBG Mobile. For more on iOS games, keep visiting us here at Macworld in 2019.